unanimous applause.
Allan Border's double century in 1993 was one of the finest achievements in an 18-year international career studded with glory and characterised by courage.
Wonderful innings from just about the most durable cricketer you could ever imagine, Allan Border.
Australia needed a man of character and resilience to lead a floundering national team out of the ashes of World Series cricket to become the powerhouse that Australia is today. Australia needed Allan Border. Border had a distinctive batting style. He would stand upright as the bowler approached, then crouch slightly as the ball was delivered. He was a reliable fielder, and he was deadly when he took aim at the stumps.
Oh, the Mixon here. Oh, he's hit the stumps. He must be out, surely.
Border was also a useful left-arm finger spinner.
It's in the air and he's caught.
He won at least one test match with the ball.
Allan was a very, very good player. He was very much in the Ian Chappell mode, that he was a guy for the trenches, if you're in trouble. He was a guy that you wanted coming in at number 5 or 6, and he did it absolutely brilliantly.
Fierce fighter, not just an ordinary fighter, not just a bit of a scrapper here and there, but he's a fierce fighter, and that was when they were winning. What a great player he was, wasn't he? Tremendous player, Allan. He just used to let the ball come to him. That's all he did Allan. If it were right up to him, he could drive, but he used to pull, he used to cut, he used to hook. Oh.
Through the covers. Border came in at a time when Australian cricket was, you know, on its knees in many ways, and he managed a batting average of 50 in an era of great West Indian fast bowling.
Abe was one of the gutsiest players I played against. He'd get out there, I mean, I must have bowled to him probably 4 or 5 times when he had broken fingers, but he kept on playing. He's one of those guys, and I used to try and hit him on the hand, and I used to say to him when I walked out, "Which one is it?" And he'd just tell me where to go and get on bowling. And
Border had suffered through one of the leanest patches in Australia's cricket history. He had at times been the only bright light in a period of unremitting gloom.
Allan Border was given a very young team, very, very young, and he had to teach them how to play, discipline. He made an Australian cricket team. And with all respect to Mark Tarter, Steve Waugh and all the others, they sort of inherited it. Allan Border's the godfather of Australian cricket, and started in 1986.
He's launched into it anyway, and that's a lovely shot from Allan Border.
By the time of his retirement, he had taken his team to the threshold of world champion status, and he'd scored more runs than any player in Test match history.
So there'll be sustained applause as Allan Border departs during the innings, becoming the greatest run getter in Test cricket history.
he turned around Australian cricket as well. Australian cricket was going through its low period a little bit like England was perhaps 4 or 5 years ago, where they needed to do some rebuilding and rethinking. And after we beat them in 86-7, he sat down and said, "Right, okay, this isn't good enough, and this is what we're going to do." And he reshaped Australian cricket. So the team that you're seeing out here now, the finished product, is a lot to do with him and a lot of credit to him.
There it is, there's 100 for Allan Border.
Allan Border grew up in the Sydney suburb of Mossman. He discovered cricket early in life.
From the age of probably 6, 7, 8, I can remember, going over to the nets at Mossman Oval, getting decked out in whites, and then starting to play in the under-12s for Mossman, and then going through the ranks, playing a little bit of club cricket, and then ending up in first grade, right up to probably playing cricket for New South Wales. I was just playing the game. I didn't really have clear ambitions. I just enjoyed playing the game, and just basically was waiting to see where it took me. So yeah, probably from age 19, 20, somewhere around there, I did start to, make a specific effort to hone my skills a little more and see where it could take me.
Allan Border came into Test cricket during the World Series cricket split that had fatally weakened the Australian team.
I'd been making runs for New South Wales. I think I'd made back-to-back hundreds, and in that period, I mean, that was good enough to get you a game in the Test side, because the Test side was getting beaten, and the selectors were looking for, you know, new young talent. Before I'm probably ready, you know, I'm thrust into Test cricket.
Despite making 60 and 45 on a difficult wicket in his second Test match, Border was inexplicably dropped.
The selectors looking for a winning sort of combination decided to leave me out and play another all-rounder, which was unsuccessful. We ended up losing the game again and lost the series 5-1.
Recalled for the following series against Pakistan, he made a century, and so began an unbroken tenure of 153 consecutive Test matches.
I all of a sudden started to realise I could perform at this level, because Pakistan had all their World Series cricket stars, you know, the Imran Khans, Zahir Abbas's, Asif Iqbal's, etc., etc.
In 1979, a compromise was brokered between the establishment and World Series cricket. The icons came back to the fold.
That felt a little bit more like it was my first Test match, because you're sitting around, you're the new kid on the block with all these legendary names that you'd sort of, you know, growing up, going through your teenage years of watching them play cricket on television and reading about them. All of a sudden you're in the same dressing room. That probably felt a little bit more daunting than actually being involved in my first Test match.
In 1980, Border, in just his second overseas tour, made 150 in each innings of a Test against Pakistan.
No surprise that Allan Border is the only player to achieve that sort of statistic, because he had the ability to focus and concentrate for long periods of time. Conditions wouldn't have been easy in that particular Test match. An outstanding Pakistan attack as well. That great Pakistan left armer Iqbal Kazim. It also included Imran Khan, who was at the very peak of his power at around that time.
By now his average was over 50, and he was by far Australia's most consistent run-getter.
They weren't always pretty innings, but again, it didn't matter. They were so important, not only to that current team, that team of the day that he was desperately trying to inspire, but it also was a signpost for the next generation of batsmen. This is the tenacity, the courage, the temperament you need to succeed at international level.
One of his finest achievements from that period was his 98 not out and second innings century to save a Test against the rampaging West Indies at Trinidad in 1984.
I put down the 98 I made against the West Indies in Port of Spain as my best Test match innings. Didn't have all the flamboyant shots. I probably played better, you know, many other times in different games, but when you talk about, you know, the wicket conditions, it was a bit wet and greasy. We lost the toss, were inserted. Playing against the West Indies of 1984, pretty awesome bowling attack, and to make those runs under those circumstances, it's probably as good as I've played.
At the end of 1984, Border was past what might have seemed to be a poison chalice.
It took him a while to settle into the captaincy role. He never really